there's going to be a lot of people who, like have doubts about it because they themselves might not take those steps, and they don't have to. You're the one who has to take those steps. So yeah, my advice is just wake up and do it. Well, I am Bailey. I've been a Portland native for about 10 years. I was in corporate at Daimler and Nike. And I left to work on my own project, and it's called Our Place. It's a local discovery app that'll be out on iOS and in the Google Play Store. And it's all about connecting people back to their community. So right now we're really stuck looking at sponsored results. And if you're, trying to Google something really specific, you're ending up on Reddit threads and events on social media are kind of like coming up after the events have already happened in the algorithm. So just trying to give that freedom back to everybody to, look at their neighborhood and see what's going on. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, it seems like LinkedIn is often the culprit where it's like, oh, that looks like a great event. Too bad it happened 3 weeks ago. Well, I definitely appreciate the opportunity and the problem space and can hear some of your inspiration. Was there a particular, this is the final straw kind of moment that you remember that inspired you to finally make the leap to start solving this problem?
Well, I mean, in terms of leaving corporate to do my own project, that's something that I've always really wanted to do. And so I was diagnosed as autistic and needed some time for my mental health to just kind of dive into that and understand what that means. So in terms of the actual business, what I originally wanted to do was put together a physical third space. I wanted to open door out to a community center that was really creative and fun. But when I started looking around at the cost to do that was out of my budget. But also there's so many amazing places, especially in Portland already, that I realized the problem isn't necessarily that no one's cool enough or doesn't have enough fun things to do, but rather it's hard to find, and I didn't know about it. And so I thought that making it easier to find those places that already exist in Portland and beyond would be a much better use of my time.
That's very near and dear to my heart because that was what part of my inspiration to start Silicon Florist long, long ago was I was encountering a bunch of awesome startups that no one was talking about. And I was like, people need to know that this stuff is going on. So I can fully appreciate that kind of motivation. Shifting gears a little bit, I find that even early stage first-time founders can be amazing peer mentors for people who are maybe have just started, maybe they're thinking about making that leap. What's one piece of advice you would give to another startup founder?
Just do it. The classic Nike advice. I have to convince myself all the time that this is a good idea. It is a good idea, and I know that, and I've gotten that feedback. But every single day, I have to wake up and tell myself that in order to get back to the computer and keep going. And so nobody's going to do it for you or make it happen for you. And there's going to be a lot of people who, have doubts about it because they themselves might not take those steps, and they don't have to. You're the one who has to take those steps. So yeah, my advice is just wake up and do it.
As a human trying to survive in the world of being a founder, is there a particular resource you find yourself returning to, almost like a touchstone? Could be a book, could be a location. Is there something you find yourself coming back to time and time again?
Yeah, I actually, when I first left work, I went back to support my mom's business, which is Joyly. And it's hard to put into words, but we basically rebuilt the emotions framework from the ground up and created something called the emotions map and the chair of joy practice. And it's a lot less toxically positive than it could sound when you first hear about it without actually seeing it. But it's just 4 steps: sit, breathe, think, feel. And it's, I sit somewhere in the world, near a waterfall, breathe in, think of a memory of joy. And for me, that the pressure, especially before I had my autistic diagnosis, was to think of something, social and laughter and really, what people think of when they imagine being happy. But for me, my joy was, sitting at home and enjoying my crafts and enjoying those things. So being able to kind of recognize that and then think of that in the moment when I'm stressed out or when I need it and feel that.
Bailey, you've been incredibly helpful. Thank you for carving out time. How can we listening be most helpful to you? right now?
So download the app, use it, tell your friends. If it's not out yet, it will be soon, and you can visit ourplace.community to join the wait list. If you're throwing events or if you've got a physical place, it's built for you for marketing. So please share.
Do you have a startup story to tell? I would love to hear from you.